As a racial justice advocate, I'm often invited to give talks or to do workshops where I talk to white people about race. A big part of my praxis is to offer real-life stories, examples, that type of thing, that help white people to be able to identify white supremacy in everyday life. My husband's family is white, and I often use the cultural differences between my family and his family as a way to help white people see their whiteness. There's one example that I use that always gets a ton of pushback. My husband and I were late to our first Thanksgiving with his family. I say late because it started at 12. We got there at 12:10, but whenever we got there at 12:10, everybody was already sat down and eating. I didn't know that. I use this illustration to point out that different cultures have different understandings of time, lateness, and what it means to be polite. Without fail, a white person will push back and say that lateness is impolite. I always use this as a teachable moment. I usually ask a series of pointed questions that challenge their assumptions. Sometimes it takes a lot of work, but by the end, they're able to identify how white cultural dominance works in this one small area of life, which opens the door for them to start peeling the onion.
You know, guys, man, it's nuts to me. It really is, man. Do we live in a world to where people of color can tell white people, you know, hey, look, man, I know you said be somewhere at noon because that's when you were going to start. And I got there afterwards. I get it. I got there afterwards, but you were already doing it. Well, I told you I was. I told you what time, you know, yeah, I know, but you have to understand. Black people don't view the world the way you do. Everyone views the world the way you do. Do you understand that? I'm terribly sorry. Can I learn how to do things the way you want me to do it? Because again, I don't want to be white. I mean, we truly have to understand, guys, man, you know, what is happening now in today's world. You know, again, we view being on time as wrong. Being on time is wrong if you offend a person of color. If you offend a black person, oh, man. Yeah. Again, for doing something right. For doing something right, for being on time. For expecting people, hey, look, to be on time. And guess what? If you're not on time, we're going to start without you. I mean, you know, what is so difficult about that? Think about it for a minute, man. My kids had to be at school at a certain time, 8:00 or whatever, man, 8:05, whatever time the bell rings. That's what time the bell rings. They got to be there. They got to be there beforehand. And, if they're not, they're late. If you don't get to work on time, if you got to be to the office, to the plant, to whatever you work at by 8:15, 8:30, guess what? You got to be there by that time. That's what time you have to be there. And again, if you're not there, you're late. And that is the way the world works. Again, that's the way we do things. We tell people, hey, look, I'm going to be there by this time. And guess what? That's what time you got to be there. That's what time we have to be there. You know, again, I understand this woman is trying to make everything about the whole white, black stuff. Again, she wants to make white people feel bad for doing something right. I get that. And, you know, that's very popular nowadays, man, to make white people feel bad for being white. But if you think about this for just a minute, imagine if she got a bus ticket or a plane ticket or whatever somewhere to go somewhere. And I showed up to drive the bus and I said, well, 20 minutes late, half an hour late. And she was like, I got to get there. I got to get to my job or wherever I'm going on time. And I was like, how black of you? I mean, again, I was busy. I was busy. How dare you expect me to be on time? So again, if she expects you to be on time, you have to be on time. But if she doesn't want to be on time somewhere, well, guess what, man? It's because she's black. And whiteness and white culture with being on time is wrong. But guys, I want to show you a clip of her responding to the pushback that she got from the original video. Watch this.
Hey, this is my own comment, and it's in reference to the video that I did about punctuality and white culture. I'm pretty sure if you tap it, it'll take you back to the original video. But I wanted to expound on this a little bit. Specifically, I wanted to challenge white people to expand their thinking on this topic. The most common type of comment that I saw in the original video was some version of, "I'm white and I'm always late." I don't think that people were trying to refute the premise of the original video, but I do think that white people were trying to distance themselves from this particular feature of white culture. Here's where I want y'all to dig a little bit deeper. This is something that I notice white people do a lot whenever we talk about whiteness. There's an acknowledgement that a certain type of whiteness exists, but also an attempt to say, oh no, I'm not that type of white person. Here's the problem with that. A lot of times whenever you try to distance yourself from an aspect of whiteness, you're actually reinforcing that aspect of whiteness. So going back to the original example, when you say that you're late, you're still operating under dominant culture constructs of time and punctuality. You're still being white about it. Here's what you missed. There are people who view the world very differently from you. And so you have to train your brain to be able to see things from a different perspective.
White people right now, they're too willing to say, hey, look, I'm not white. I'm not one of those white people that whatever. That's what the problem is, man. Again, white people, they don't value, the stuff they used to value because they want to look cool. They want to be hip. They want to be black. They want to be brown. No, man, be you. Don't distance yourself to something because it's not popular at that moment. I mean, we have got to truly understand being on time is right. Being on time is good. We have to be on time. There's a schedule to things. You got to be to work on time. You got to be to school on time. You got to be, you got to pick something up, pick somebody up on time. Again, people, they have busy lives. They have to be somewhere on time. And if you're not, you're putting everyone else, you're making everyone else wait on you. That's what you're doing. And again, right now, we have got to get this. We've got to understand there is privilege, but there's black privilege. There's not white. We have truly got to get that there is no white privilege. The thing is, man, again, if you can make other people wait on you, and if they don't wait on you, they're being white, they're being wrong. Again, you have to wait on me because my culture, dictates you have to wait on me because, again, we're not going with the dominant narrative or whatever that white people are right. We're not going on that. It's all about race. And if they don't want to be somewhere on time, if they don't want to do something right, if they don't want to score high enough on a test, well, guess what? White supremacy is reason why. No, it is not. We have got to get away from that. And also, man, think about this for a minute. Think about, if somebody white got up there and said what she said. Got up there and said, hey, look, I need all you black people to listen, to understand you're doing things wrong. Maybe be less black. Maybe be less black. But again, man, people, their heads would freaking explode. But guys, man, we truly get to understand right now in today's world, you can say whatever you want to say about white, whatever you want to say about the white man, whatever you want to say about the male monster, whatever, man, you can say whatever you want to say. But hey, look, man, if somebody's black, you can't expect them to be on time because, again, they come from a different culture and you're not respecting their needs. I mean, again, that sounds like a bunch of horse shit to me.
I can't no more. I got the horses in the bag. Horse stock is
I mean, it really does, man, because you know what? It is. It's a bunch of horse shit. It's a way not to have accountability for yourself, which is really what we're pushing. We're pushing non-accountability. No accountability of oneself. No accountability of one's life. And again, if somebody expects you to be accountable for yourself, then guess what? They're being a white supremacist. But guys, man, if you would, please like, subscribe, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
You son of a